Use supported creator code Rivecha in the Fortnite item shop, if you want to, of course. It doesn't have to be me, but if you're going to buy something, use the code of somebody legit. Thank you. So my previous Fortnite Iceberg video kind of blew up. At the time of me writing this script, it has over 100,000 views, which is honestly astounding. I really enjoyed making that video, but many of you pointed out in the comments that there were a lot of mysteries that I didn't include. I debated on making a follow-up video, so I made a poll asking whether I should do so, and if I did, what I should include. Over 500 people voted, and the result was an astounding yes. And you guys also put a lot of new topics in the comments of that video, but I thought I should give a special shout out to the user Dustin Ramos. He made an entire comment chain of at least 100 topics I didn't talk about. While I don't cover all of them, most of what I talk about in this video is from this comments. So thanks man. I'm actually excited to research this video because I don't know about many of the items on this list. Also, I just wanted to note that I won't be covering any significant storyline theories in this video. That will come in my next video, so keep your eyes out for that. Also, the entries here aren't in any significant order. With all that out of the way, I present to you Fortnite Iceberg, the Forgotten Entries. In July 2018, people started to notice a weird image in Loot Lake. It seemed that there was a pyramid inside the lake, or at least a reflection of a pyramid. People thought that this meant that there would be a new pyramid point of interest the next season, and that it would be mythology themed. But nothing like that ever happened, so the pyramid's reflection must have just been a glitch. Way back in Chapter 1, there was this location called Containers on the map. If you went there and looked in a specific spot, you would find this indestructible suitcase with a weird miniature cabbage factory inside. This was such a weird Easter egg, and to this day, nobody knows what it actually means. These two pets are the only ones to ever be sold in the item shop to my knowledge. The Empress Pet was a pink cat sitting on a couch. It was sold in the item shop for 1,000 V-Bucks, which is a pretty steep price. Obviously it didn't sell well as nobody wanted to dish out $10 for a pink cat on an ugly couch. So after that day, it never returned to the item shop. But even if some people said it was ugly, it was still unique and had character, and nowadays it actually has a little cult following of people who like it. However, the same can't be said for the next pet. Gunner was another pet sold in the item shop for 1,000 V-Bucks. But Gunner received way more outrage than Empress due to the fact that it was a blatant reskin of another pet called Bonesy, which was part of the Season 6 Battle Pass. In fact, it was so similar that they were essentially indistinguishable from each other. People were shocked that Fortnite thought they could sell this for such a steep price. Within a couple of hours, Gunner was removed from the item shop and Fortnite issued an apology, stating, quote, "We should not have released the Gunner pet and apologize for doing so. Within the next couple of days, all purchases of Gunner will be refunded for the full amount of 1,000 V-Bucks, as well as an additional 200 V-Bucks, and the pet will be removed from the locker." This is the only time Fortnite has ever permanently removed a purchasable cosmetic from the locker and refunded a cosmetic for more than its initial worth. Somebody over at Epic probably got fired for this. The Ostrich Weapon was a glitched weapon you can find in creative mode during Season X. It was a rare rarity weapon, and it had the same model as the epic and legendary pump shotguns. However, it had a magazine size of 10 instead of the usual 5. People wondered if this was a new weapon coming to the game soon, but some players quickly figured out its true purpose. The process to spawning the Ostrich Weapon involved using the Brute vehicle, and the Brute had a built-in shotgun which fired, you guessed it, 10 shotgun shells before needing to reload. So the Ostrich Weapon was probably a back-end placement for the devs to have an easier time coding the Brute shotgun. In Greek mythology, Hyperborea was a mythical land near the North Pole where the giants lived. Looking at a map of Hyperborea, we see that it is an island with 4 rivers going to the east, west, north, and south, dividing the island into quadrants. They all meet in the middle, where there is an even smaller island at the intersection of all the rivers. Looking at the Chapter 2 map, the description of Hyperborea is basically the same as the map. 4 rivers in each cardinal direction which meet at the middle, and an even smaller island in the middle. And considering that the Chapter 2 map is codenamed Apollo, who is a figure in Greek mythology, the devs may also have been inspired by Greek mythology for other aspects. Who knows, maybe the similarities to Hyperborea will be significant in the storyline soon. In 2019, Fortnite accidentally leaked a new skin in a creative mode promotional art. The skin looked like a male version of the Sergeant Green Clover skin, and it was definitely going to be a St. Patrick's Day skin. However, this skin never released. Nobody really knows why they didn't release the skin, so it's interesting as to why they put it in their art. The Equalizer glider was a free glider you can get in the 2018 14 Days of Fortnite Christmas event. It's a pretty cool glider, lots of bright colors, and it even plays music. But while in replay mode, a player found a weird Easter egg on it. Looking at the model, we can see that on the underside of the glider there is a text message saying, "Warning, nuclear missile launched." Was this foreshadowing of future events? Was this a reference to the rocket event from Season 4? Nobody knew. And to this day, it just remains a simple Easter egg for people to find. So in my last video, I talked about the third default dance music. The one which was in Season 1 but got removed because of possible copyright issues. But did you know that there was a fourth version of the default dance that didn't even make it into the game? Here, take a listen. If someone killed me and danced on me with that music, I would actually uninstall the game. Although it is pretty troll, so I'm kind of sad it didn't make the cut. In Chapter 2 Season 4, there were special abilities and items added to the game based off the abilities of superheroes. Some examples were Iron Man's gauntlets and Storm's whirlwind blast. One item which was leaked to be added to the game was Mystique's dual pistols. She was the only Battle Pass skin that season without a corresponding superpower, so people thought that this would be added soon, but it never was. Personally, I think it's because the dual pistols weren't special enough and didn't really represent Mystique's powers. In Chapter 1 Season 5, the uncommon rarity outfit Grilled Sergeant was added to the game. However, within a couple of hours, it was actually removed from the item shop and even from people's lockers. Why did Epic do this? Well, after the skin was released, there was a serious bug with it. Many people reported that the skin would look like a default in-game, and some even said that the skin appeared as a disembodied head. Since this bug was so widespread, Epic just thought it better to remove it from the game altogether until it was fixed. Luckily, it was fixed quickly and players were able to use the skin again. In Chapter 1 Season 4, a trusted leaker who worked at Epic Games claimed that in Season 5, there would be pirate raiders at Snobby Shores. Excited from this news, players started to claim that they could see pirate ships in the distance from Snobby Shores. But the truth was that these were either photoshopped or people just seeing things in the distant fog. However, the leaker wasn't completely wrong, because in Season 5, Viking raiders appeared on top of the mountain next to Snobby, and there was actually a mini storyline of the Vikings invading Snobby and slowly turning it into a Viking village. In Chapter 2 Season 2, there was a spot on the map where, if you looked at it from above, the path, bushes, fences, and house appeared to spell out the word Noah. At this time, leakers had been saying that the theme for Chapter 2 Season 3 would be water, and that the map would be flooded. Of course, when people found this spot on the map, they were instantly reminded of the biblical story of Noah's Ark, which is about God sending a giant flood to engulf the world. And this foreshadowing was somewhat correct, as in the device event at the end of Season 2, the Imagined Order, who are an organization essentially playing God with the Fortnite island, sent a giant wall of water which engulfed the island and flooded it. This one is pretty strange but funny. When Fortnite officially released in South Korea, there was an ad campaign to promote it, and the celebrity at the head of this campaign was none other than Chris Pratt. In the commercial, he talks about how much fun he has playing the game because it's so easy and casual, and that he especially has more fun when playing with Koreans. I think that he's emphasizing the casual nature of the game because in South Korea, esports are a big thing, so a lot of video games people play there are hardcore and require grinding. So Fortnite wants to present themselves as an easy game that you can play to unwind. But in another commercial, Chris Pratt is talking about how there's a competition cup going on, and if Koreans don't play, they will miss out on the huge prize money. So what is it? Is Fortnite a casual game, or is it a game where you play for prize money? Ignoring that, it was still really funny seeing a Fortnite commercial with Chris Pratt in it. The Madcap skin was another one of those leaked skins which seems to have been in the files for months. It's this weird fusion of a mushroom and a ninja, and it looks pretty cool. However, what makes this skin especially strange is that despite not being released, people saw a silhouette at random places in Weeping Woods, which would honestly be pretty scary if you saw that in-game. Maybe he was supposed to be an in-game NPC but was scrapped? I think in the most recent update, his files got completely removed from the game, so I don't know if we'll be seeing him again. So back in Chapter 1 Season 3, there was a whole lot of hype about the meteor in the sky slowly approaching the island. The prevailing theory was that the meteor was going to hit Tilted Towers. This was because Tilted was a popular location back then, and destroying it would be a great change not only to the map but to the flow of the gameplay. Also, there was more evidence for the meteor hitting Tilted. You see, the Chapter 1 map is based off of Poland, at least the shape. And if you overlap the maps on top of each other, the location of a famous meteor crash site in Poland exactly lines up with Tilted Towers. So people were sure that the meteor would crash at Tilted. But then it landed at Dusty instead. I don't know if it was always supposed to land at Dusty Depot, or if it was originally going to land at Tilted and then Epic changed it for some reason. But it is strange that there was evidence for the meteor to land at Tilted. Maybe it was just Epic faking this out. In the last days before Chapter 1 Season 5, there was an ARG that was created to hype up the new season. This started with a dirt burger from the island supposedly being rifted to the California desert. While the ARG necessarily didn't have a conclusion, people found that if you looked at the coordinates of the burger in Google Earth, there was this weird pattern in the ground next to it. At the time, we didn't know what it was, but in Season 8, when the vault was revealed on the island, people quickly realized that it looked exactly like the markings on the ground from that ARG. Did it mean anything significant, or was it just foreshadowing? In the days before Chapter 2 Season 2 was released, people spotted teasers for the new season in real life around the world. These teasers had a phone number that people could call on each of them, and if you did call these numbers, you would get a message. Here are some of the messages you could get. Yes sir, the agents were called. The card to access the safe was purchased. Agency recruitment drive is a go. Happy hunting agents, oil rig operation is a go. During ID scanning, access denied, agency communication was interrupted. Hiding places were detected, traces were found in the Agent E region, the dormant time was over. Acolyte spot, agent you are mobilizing. These messages were obviously foreshadowing the secret agent theme of Chapter 2 Season 2, and they even teased some of the new features, such as scanning ID cards to open special chests and vaults, and they even teased the oil rig POI. Many players know that Fortnite in China is vastly different from the rest of the world due to the country's strict laws. For example, they don't allow depictions of skulls, so cosmetics like Mystique's skull are either changed or removed altogether. But did you know that they also got exclusive cosmetics unavailable to the rest of the world? The penguin and insignia backblings are exclusive to China, as well as the pointer and power grip pickaxes. Honestly, these are really cool, so I hope that they release to the rest of the world soon. Almost every season in Chapter 1, there has been one building in Tilted Towers which kept on being destroyed. In Season 4, it got destroyed by a part of the meteor which broke off. In Season 5, it was crushed by Kevin the Cube. In Season 6, it finally got a break and was in the process of being rebuilt. In Season 7, reconstruction was completed, but it got destroyed by an earthquake at the end of the season. In Season, it was rebuilt, ironically, into the headquarters for No Sweat Insurance. And becoming an insurance building must have broken the curse, because at the end of the season events, when the entirety of Tilted Towers was destroyed by the volcano eruption, only that building remained standing. It was a great setup and a great punchline at the end, even though the joke ran on for months. In the early days of the game, there was a bug where the pump shotgun still did a lot of damage from far distances. I think that the reason for this was because the developers forgot to add damage drop-off for distance. Therefore, pump shotguns were extremely overpowered, even better long range than ARs or even snipers, because you didn't really have to be accurate long range with the shotgun using this glitch. Obviously, this was patched quickly, but it is still a nice bit of legend from the older days of the game. People who played back in the early days of Chapter 1 probably remember the Omega Lights challenges in Season 4. I didn't have the Battle Pass back then, so I didn't need to worry about it, but those who did had the challenge of a lifetime. In order to unlock cool colored lights for the Omega skin, you would have to reach XP level 80. Remember, this was the Chapter 1 XP system, so it was a lot harder to level up than it is in Chapter 2. Reaching level 80 was an insane grind, one many people were not able to do. So a lot of people missed out on these awesome styles. In Season 8, there was a leaked challenge tab which showed that a mega challenges might be returning for the owners of the skin. People got excited, but it turned out to never come out. Overall, it was unknown why there was a leak of the challenges returning. Perhaps it was just a placeholder for another set of challenges. The Transcendent Rarity is a relatively unknown rarity of cosmetics in Fortnite. This is because of the fact that there are no cosmetics in this rarity. This rarity is exclusively used by developers when testing items initially. You see, they don't necessarily assign a rarity to a cosmetic item right as they add it to the files for testing, so they give it a Transcendent Rarity as a placeholder before they give an item its actual rarity. Just an interesting fact about the game I didn't know. The Stone family was a family of giant rocks that could be found on the map. It started off with a giant stone man, and then every update the story would be updated. He found a stone wife, and soon they had a stone child. They had a nice peaceful life of farming. One day, the stone child wandered too close to the edge of a cliff and almost fell off, barely hanging on. For 2 weeks, the community wondered if it would be okay, and once the next update rolled around, we found that all is well, because a little stone dog found the kid and saved it. The kid took the dog back to its parents, and they all lived happily ever after. Well, until the black hole destroyed the Chapter 1 map. But the story doesn't end there. In Chapter 2 Season 5, people have reported seeing the stone dog come up in one of those I.O. elevators, so maybe we'll see the rest of the family return. To wrap up this video, we have something all the way back in Chapter 1 Season 3. For people on controller, if they pointed their camera towards the meteor, the controller would start vibrating. People quickly deduced that the vibrations were actually Morse code. One message was simple to translate, SOS, or Save Our Souls. But was the SOS a cry for help from the person in the meteor, or was it a warning to the people of the island? There was a second message, but this took more time to translate. Eventually, people found it to say, they don't want us to... It ends with a K, but what is the full word? They don't want us to kill? They don't want us to know? Having the hindsight of knowing parts of the story now, it could be the visitor telling the people of the island that the imagined order doesn't want the people of the island to know that they are stuck inside of a loop. Maybe the message will make more sense as we get more information. So those are the lost entries of the Fortnite Iceberg. I hope that between this and the other video, I covered most of the legitimate mysteries and fun facts in this game. There's a storyline video coming out soon, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Thank you guys for watching the video, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. See you guys later. Peace.